Coach. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Been a little snowy weather here, but softball's right around the corner. Start next week on Tuesday against Lee. New faces all around this year, but there's also, you still have some veteran players around, such as Chrissy Melcher and Tori McComas in the infield. Offense kind of remains intact, but the question is, in the circle, losing a two-time Conference Carolinas Pitcher of the Year in Hannah Light. How has the team been coming together, and how's all the young players been performing?
Well, good. Obviously at the beginning of the fall it was a little bit scary at times. We definitely went through our growing pains, but that's to be expected with so many young players like we had. But one of the good things is, from the start of the fall to the end of the fall, there was definitely significant improvement, which is obviously what you want to see. And even from the start of preseason to where we are now, getting ready to open up, there's been significant improvement there also. So, we're continuously getting better, and with a young group and a lot of new faces, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's a good thing to see for sure. We'll start in the circle here, going into the roster a little bit. Like I say, you've lost Hannah Light, who was kind of everything the last couple of years, I guess you could say. But you're a little bit deeper this year. You got 4 arms that you can go to instead of 1 or 2 compared to last year. And junior Morgan Law seems to be leading the charge in the circle. How's all that coming together?
Yeah, I think, this year, obviously, from a pitching standpoint, we're going to be a lot different than we have been for the past couple of years. Obviously, we relied on Hannah, and she, did very well for us, and we were very successful, so it worked. But this year, we are going to have more of a complete staff. We're not going to rely on just one arm. We really feel like we've got 3 or 4 pitchers who can really come in at any point and give us a different look and help us be successfable.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of depth and a little bit of a change coming in the circle too.
Yep.
In the infield, a couple of stalwarts have been there since the NCAA days started here at King, and Chrissy Melcher and Tori McComas locking down the middle. It's got to be nice to have them in the infield.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously they're going to be our core in the infield. However, there may be a little bit of a change as far as what you see. Tori McComas, who has kind of been our utility player since the time she was here, coming in as a shortstop. She's seen a little bit of time at third, not much. Last year, obviously, and the year before that, she saw a lot of time at second base and then had to move over to shortstop again once Melcher got hurt. And she even saw some time last year at first base, so she's really kind of played all over the place. But one of the places we feel like she may fit in for this year is at third base for us. So she's really been coming along there, and there's a really good chance that on the left side of the field there it'll be Melcher at shortstop and Tori at third.
That's a good combination over there. And that was going to be where I went next, to the corners with McComas. I guess can play anywhere.
Yeah.
Samantha Cole, I guess you'd say, could probably fill in at second base as she did last year, and then maybe Amber Palmer, Diamond Colwood on the right side.
Yeah, we've got at second base, Sam, who stepped in last year when Melch got hurt and we had to move Tori over to shortstop, did a great job at second base for us, and so she's obviously vying for time there. And then Diamond, freshman, Diamond Colwood is also competing for some time there, and we really feel good about either one of those kids being in the lineup at any point at second base.
Yeah, how's that competition going? It's always nice to have a little more depth than you have in the past.
Absolutely. That's been one of the most fun things I think about this preseason, is actually having some battles going on at different positions. And so I really feel like, once February 10th rolls around, our starting lineup is really going to be people who have proven that they deserve to be out there. They've worked hard, and they've flat out just beat somebody out in that position.
Yeah, and then going to catcher, Hannah Smith has kind of been there the last few years, put up offensive numbers, played well defensively. This year you got 3 catchers. Nice again to have a little competition there and have them push each other. Yeah,
absolutely. We really, you go around any spot on the field and there's competition, which is good. But yeah, this year we've got 3 catchers. Obviously we've got Hannah Smith back. She's kind of, I guess, the front runner, you could say, at this point. But we've got 2 other ones who can come in and I think do a great job for us. And so they are all 3 going to be competing for a lot of playing time this year. But one of the things that's really good about having that at catcher is, we're not going to wear out one catcher's knees. 53 games is a lot during the regular season. So having opportunities to be able to give her a break from behind the plate is going to be really big for us, I think, going down the stretch.
Yeah, especially splitting up doubleheaders late in the year. Outfield, there's I think 1 returner, Stephanie Rodriguez, maybe a couple others in there, but that group is going to be young. How have they been doing in practices so far, and I guess what are the expectations for that?
Yeah, we are definitely young out there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for us. I think we've got some good players who can come in and give us some good time out there. Yes, we are young, a little bit untested, but at the same time, I feel like, through the fall and then also through this preseason, we have some kids who have really stepped up and shown that, they can do a good job for us out there.
Yeah, nice to see again depth, which we really haven't had in past years.
Absolutely.
Going into the schedule, another tough schedule. 3 teams that are in the preseason top 25, 2 of which are in the top 10. And one of the top 25 teams beat one of the top 10 teams last weekend in the opening weekend.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel about putting a schedule together like that, and how could that help if King were able to get to that NCAA tournament again for the second time in your 4 years?
Well, I really think that, obviously, our philosophy is, to schedule tough teams, especially early on, because I think that's what makes us better. And we're really looking to, once we start conference play, know what we've got. And you only know those things if you're playing against good competition. So, I really think that that's going to help us, obviously throughout our conference schedule, but then hopefully, even further on, because, if we do make it to the NCAA tournament, knowing that, they've played against the best of the best and that they can compete against them, and those things are important, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see teams like that, that's for sure. Opening the season on Tuesday, February 10th, here against Lee, a team that just has made that transition to Division II. What are you looking for? What are your expectations from that opening weekend, opening games, and finally seeing some other competition outside yourself?
Yeah, I think, obviously that first game, you always have first game jitters and all that kind of stuff. Even though we've played a fall schedule and that kind of stuff, it's still a lot different. So that opening day is an opportunity to obviously face good competition, but also to see what we're made of, to see all of that hard work kind of put to the test and kind of see where we're at this point and see where we need to continue to get better. It'll be a good opportunity for us to see, what our strengths are at this point and what our weaknesses are, and then just build off of those and moving forward throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a long season, but it happens pretty quick.
Yeah.
53 games in just over a couple months here. So, again, that's Tuesday, February 10th, 2 and 4 doubleheader against Lee. Come on out. Hopefully it'll be nice and warm. No snow will be flying. But thanks for joining us, and good luck this year.
Thank you.